Do you want to grow or are you just addicted to self help content? This is a real challenge for a lot of people, especially with a growth mindset. We have so much information at our fingertips, and we can be so focused on reading the next book, listening to the next podcast, watching the next YouTube video, whether you're looking for a solution to a specific challenge you have or on that constant search for the magic bullet that's going to simplify your life and fix everything, which we know doesn't exist yet. It's still so easy for us to be on the search for it. Whatever it is that we're doing, it can be so easy for us to consume so much content that we're not really actually thinking about it. We're not giving ourselves the time to read it or listen to it and then take a step back and really think about it. And then take what it is that we've learned and apply it to our lives. We can constantly consume, but if we're not actually taking what we're learning and doing something with it and applying it with our lives, then what is it for? We're just gathering all this information, which honestly can sometimes feel so overwhelming, we end up doing nothing. Has that ever happened to you where you have read a book or you're listening to a podcast and at the end of it, you almost feel more overwhelmed? You have more information than you know what to do with. And so instead of moving forward, instead of taking the next right step, you do nothing. I recently had someone on my podcast ask me about these books behind me on the bookshelf and said, Have you really read all those books? And I will say, I do have a lot of books. I love collecting books. I have them back here. I have a whole other shelf over here. I have some out there in my home. They're scattered around because there's something that I just love about really great books. I love being able to pick up a book and flip it to any page and find some piece of inspiration, something that I might need at that exact moment, something that's going to inspire me. And I will say that I have read many of the books behind me on this shelf, especially that top shelf. I kind of categorize my books. I have some of my favorites right on the top shelf. Those books I have absolutely read, those first couple shelves, because these are books that I love so much that I will sometimes go back to. I will sometimes reference. I will sometimes need a little boost of inspiration or something to move me forward in my creative process. And so I'll just pick one of them up and turn it to a page and find something in there that's going to push me forward. As I was looking through some of my books the other day, I thought about how easy it is for us to just be consuming new information instead of taking some time and really meditating on some of the ideas, some of the concepts that we've learned already, whether through a book, a podcast, a YouTube video. And what a beautiful opportunity it is for us to meditate on some of the ideas that we've already discovered and create something out of it. And when I talk about create, it doesn't mean that we have to create and post or share something. It simply means you're giving yourself the space to think about something, to write about something, to take an idea and do something with that idea. When was the last time you read a great quote and you just sat with it? Not for a couple seconds, but what if you sat with it for a day or a week or a month and you just dug into one simple quote? What new ideas would spark for you? What new insights would you get that you can not just think about, but take action on so that when we are inspired by a quote or a resource, we get to apply something in our lives that will actually help us grow. I have a document with a bunch of different quotes on it. And I recently came across this one that I absolutely love. So, of course, I added it to the list. And it's by Roger Ebert. And he says, It's not what a movie is about, it's how it is about it. I love this quote. And it got me thinking first, I'm not a filmmaker, but it got me thinking about life in general. It's not what a movie is about. It's how it is about it. I feel like this applies to so many different things in our lives. It applies to our own goals and dreams. We might have this idea of what we want our life to look like, or we might have a dream that we're working towards. And there's so many different routes to take to get there. So, yes, we need to know the end game. We need to know where we are trying to go. And then you get to use your creativity to figure out how to make that happen. It's not what the movie is about, it's how it is about it. What step are you going to take? Who are you going to invite along with your journey? What resources are you going to leverage? I've been thinking about this quote for days, and so many interesting ideas have come to my mind. I have journaled about it, I have written about it when it comes to creating the work that I do, when it comes to this podcast, when it comes to just life in general. I find this quote so interesting. It's such a short quote, right? And so think about some of your favorite quotes. Think about some of your favorite books. Are you consuming them and walking away thinking, oh, that was a great book, and now I'm moving on to the next? Or are you really giving yourself space to digest all of the information, to take in all of these ideas and think about them, what they mean to you, and how you can apply some of the new tools to enhance your life, your creative projects, your relationships? Consuming new content is important. We want to learn, we want to grow, but it's just as important, if not more, to take that time to do something with the information, to sit in that feeling of inspiration, to sit in that feeling of confusion, to sit in that feeling of empowerment, to sit in that feeling of questioning and decide, what are you going to do next? Do you want to grow, or are you addicted to personal development? That is a question to ponder. That's a question to think about, to journal about. And my challenge to you is to take a book that you've read, or a podcast you've listened to, or a YouTube video that you really loved, and to dissect it, to pull out one or two of your favorite quotes or ideas, and figure out how you are going to apply that information to help move your creative projects forward and achieve some of your dreams. I would love to hear from you. Do you have a challenge with this? Are you in this constant mode of consuming and not giving yourself that space to actually apply, to really think about some of these ideas? I would love to hear. And hey, if you are addicted to books like I am, what are some of the books that you're reading? What are the books that have really made the biggest impact in your life? I always love good book recommendations, so share those in the comments for myself and others to see as well. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, go create something.